Oh, Merry Christmas, everybody.
I'll have a fluffy ball. A fluffy ball.
That ball looks very fluffy.
Yeah, that's it. Welcome back to our channel. I'm so excited. We're making Christmas cookie.
So first we're going to start on the batter, and that is going to be with a large ripe banana. You'll put in a mixing bowl and mix until a puree consistency. Along with this recipe, we use 1/4 cup of agave syrup. This can be substituted for maple syrup. Okay, so next add in your flour. This is a brand by Bob Red Mill. It is their Paleo baking flour mix. The base of it is almond. It does have some coconut flour in it as well too. It has its baking soda as well in it. And all you have to do is just mix everything together. All right, now, so with clean hands, just go in and make your dough.
And then you gotta taste it.
And then you gotta taste it?
Yeah. You guys.
An important step before rolling out your dough is to add some flour to some parchment paper and cover it with another layer.
Let me see how you gonna roll it out.
You do this and that and do and then do that. We can do both of them.
Okay. How about a rolling pin?
Let's do it.
Whoa, Mare.
So prior to rolling out this dough, we did pat it down. As you can see that Amir was beating it down so that it can roll a little bit better. Putting the dough between two parchment paper with flour on it just allows it not to stick when rolling through. We rolled our dough out to a 1/4 of an inch thickness. Now for the fun part, grab your cookie cutters. Before applying it to the dough, just lightly dip it in some water so that'll be easier to come off of the dough instead of sticking. We used two different ways to get the cookie prints off of the dough. One of them was just to peel it off the dough, and the other one was just picking up the cookie cutter and then pushing them out. Whichever way is easier, just go with that one and stick with it, but just be very careful because they easily break through. Now listen to our conversation of who broke what.
And the mommy.
Whoops. You just she's talking.
Oh no. Okay, I'll just make one.
Here, just let me do it because you're breaking it apart.
I'll go on. I'll help you, mommy.
Here.
Okay.
Push. Push it down, push it down, push.
Yeah.
Come on, like that. Okay. That one's go.
Whoa! What happened to your other red? Like you got broken. Like you got broken.
I didn't break it. You broke it the first time.
I don't want to break it.
Okay.
I don't want to break it anymore.
Okay, we want to try over again then?
Yeah, I'm
Alright,
not.
want to do the start? This is start.
No, that's not start. That's start on Christmas tree. That's no play. Yeah. No, the light is no play. I want the Christmas tree. I like the Christmas tree. That's like our Christmas tree. See? That's the Christmas. They just look like our tree. Yeah, see? Come on.
Alright, so now that you took all of the cookie prints off, use the remainder and roll them through back into a dough consistency, and then you're going to use that again for another batch of cookies. There you have it. These cookies are ready to be baked. One tip, make sure you watch them. Almond flour burns easily. We found that out the hard way, especially around the edges. So make sure you do watch them when they are in the oven. Like every 5 minutes, just take a look at them. Now on to the sprinkles. Grab your food coloring. We use green and red, of course. Just add about 2 drops to a little bit of water and mix through. And then get ready to add your coconut shreds. We use unsweetened just to take one level of sweetness off, because the cookie dough was already sweet to begin with, and then you're going to be adding icing on top of it. So unsweetened coconut shreds is what we used. There was no accurate measure of how much coconut shred that we used, but if you want a guideline, try to make maybe like 1/4 cup of coconut shreds of each color that you decide to use. Then apply that to the baking pan, because you're actually going to bake these as well too. So spread it out even on parchment paper and get ready to bake those as well at 225 degrees. Make sure you eyeball these sprinkles because they burn easily as well. So it's going to be at a lower temperature for that reason, and it's going to take about a good 15 minutes to bake through. But you can check at like 10-minute mark to see if it's already done. You just want it to be a nice little dry, because the food coloring and the water makes it wet at that point. On to the icing. We are using a sugar replacement by Swerve. It is the equivalent of using powdered sugar, but does not have the extra calories or raise your blood sugar or insulin levels like regular sugar does. This product is still new to me, so if you decide to use it, please do the research on it. I would say that it tastes very sweet, light sugar, but it's supposed to be on a more healthier alternative use instead of sugar. Okay, so go ahead and decorate those cookies however you want to decorate them. So with the almond flour, when making these cookies, the edges seem to bake faster than the middle, so that's why it's a little bit more browner than the middle portion. And now for the sprinkles, just go ahead and sprinkle on, and just let them sit for a little bit so that they can stick to the icing. Alright guys, this is the final product of the batch that we decorated. How did that make cookie?
Good.
What's some more?
Huh?
What's some more?
Huh? What's some more? So we're making cookies. Mom, you be Ayo. I'm gonna be Santa Claus. The flowers gonna be the chips.
As always, thanks for watching.